Alright, everybody, I'm live. Welcome back. This is Chrono JJ. We are watching the semifinals of the RTS League. We've got F2 versus a UCA-Owls. Oh, a couple of great names, huh? But yeah, so UCA-Owls coming into the semifinals after winning the UCA Civil War. They beat the Lizards. Now they play F2. F2 undefeated, 14-0 in the regular season, which included two wins against these Owls. So we shall see if the Owls are ready to fly or if they are going to lose again. I don't know the results. I am excited. We are ready to go. I got everything, I think, in game already. So let's just get right into it before it gets too late at night. So get right in. 5 games. It's a best of 5. The first game is predetermined to be on Borderlands. We'll get into that. It's a newer map. Maybe you haven't seen before. It should be pretty fun. So here we are, F2 versus UCA Owls game number 1. Getting right into the action, and a lot of aggressive gods on an aggressive map. This is Borderlands. Look at this map. So let's make sure we got all the players at least on the right teams here. So how about we just go over the players real quick? We've got Nyan Racing Cat on Aranos. Usually he's playing some Chronos. In the pocket is Odin King, naturally playing Odin as usual, and then the other flank. Nope, the other team. That's the other team. So hold on. Odin King's the flank, Nyan Racing Cat's the pocket, and then the other player on their team is Swiss Boy as Loki. So we've got Loki, Uranos, Odin. Over here on the right is Silent Hill. That is also Thomas Shelby, as most of you know him as. He is purple. We've got F2 player as his traditional Zeus, the pocket, and then the bottom left is Gold Lion as Loki. I don't know if I've seen Gold Lion play too much Loki, I must say. So we'll see how it goes. But the map itself, Borderlands, probably haven't seen it too much. We are looking at Borderlands, the entire map right here. So it's pretty cool. Pretty small map. Everybody's kind of crammed in together, pretty close to each other. You can see these are the two fighting players right here, kind of real close, just with this narrow tree line. You've got a whole herd of giraffe in the middle. Not really sure what they're doing in the tundra, but here they are. And of course, they're looking out at some gold mines and a campfire. Back of every player's base is where all the hunt is, outside of your starting hunt, which you get 3 walrus and a few berries. And then you go back, there's more walrus, there's more boar, cows, berries, caribou, I mean everything you could ever want to eat, as an animal, basically. And then there's, of course, this little pass in between every player's base and the back. So you got this big open area in the middle, and the little passes that go to each player in the back tree lines here, which would like forest fire if you want to go through that way, but don't know if we'll see that. But yeah, a lot of aggressive gods on what typically plays as a pretty aggressive map. This map was played in the Bill Greg Open tournament earlier in the year as 1v1. The team game obviously spawns a little bit differently, and it's been played on VoopV now for maybe a month and a half. So we thought we would kind of see. Let's throw it into the RTS League semifinals and see what the good players make of it. We'll see. So I think we'll see probably a whole bunch of pretty quick advances, I would imagine. Nothing, too abnormal. Quick advances and go from there. We see Shelby is making his temple now. This is maybe a little bit slow. Well, no. You'll be up before. That's not that slow. But yeah, Zeus, do you go centaurs here? I think you do, because the centaurs can really punish the Odin here. I think you can kind of play this like a slightly less aggressive Frozen Waste, which if you saw yesterday between Dot and WKT, it was Frozen Waste and really aggressive. So I think this will play pretty similar to that. In fact, it's pretty much all the same gods for the most part, but maybe just slightly less aggressive just because of how the map is designed. But yeah, you can go right in the front, all the bases, so it doesn't take long to go to your opponents there. How am I doing, Colby? I'm doing great. Oh, swell. Let's get into this first game of the best of 5. Just kind of seeing what's going on, all the upgrades. Oh, player is going up with Athena, so maybe a bit more of a in-your-face rush is what we might be seeing. Maybe he will double over on the top or something. A very quick advance from Odin King, a 402 advance. He is making his initial longhouse, going back to some back hunt. That would probably be worth it. Maybe a wall in between him and Shelby, possibly. Shelby's going pretty defensive, falling off. But the Raven flying in, you really don't want to forest fire. Low key, it really doesn't serve a purpose. You know, if you're gonna forest fire, at least maybe the Greek to kind of, you know, waste the 50 wood thing, or you save it to later for a really good kind of villager surround or something. We see a little bit of walls. It's interesting that everybody's walling forward when it would almost be as easy to just run around the back. In fact, maybe even easier. So like you see the players walling the front of their bases, especially like Shelby here, the purple, when you could kind of just run in the back, and that's kind of where the aggression will probably come as we see our initial Olsarks chasing and scout, and we'll see our first little skirmish. Maybe no, they just run past each other. A player used the bolts on the Valkyrie in the back, so Odin King knows that's there. He should just run straight to the hunt. I don't know why he's fighting this. They have a little bit more speed than the Hersier pre-Hall of Thanes. He could have just ran past the Hersier right to the hunt. I don't know why he stopped and got distracted. So he should just keep going. See, now we have the Hall of Thanes is coming. We are, what are we, 50% up. So I think now by the time he gets back here, it's going to be too late. He should have just run right through right away. Big map? I don't know if it's really that big. It maybe look big, but it necessarily is. Goldline's got a lot of hers here already. Got a little bit of hoplites. So hoplites for player. Now he's in on the hunt. But I think now with the Hersier being able to chase with Hall of Thanes, I don't think he can really get much damage done. And in fact, he'll end up getting his units damaged. He needs to separate. So when melee units attack, they slow down other units. So who should really? Oh, what? Well, now he's walling in the back, and we're having the pressure. So player is. This is what I thought might happen. Is the double on the Odin here? Player coming in. We've got Nyan Racing Cat though coming around the back side. Could pick off maybe a couple bills or a couple units here. I don't think player really quite has enough of an army to fight this. Yeah, he's retreating and probably might just run right through the wall over here. Meanwhile, we've got the battling Loki on the bottom. We'll see how that goes. Loki v Loki can really be like a close match up until one player loses a fight, and then it's just over from there. But yeah, he's gonna retreat. Oh, nice shockwave, and it's gonna get the surrounding on the units here to kill a couple. But now we got the Hersier coming in, so the flaming forest fire to push the Hersier away, which will maybe allow UCA to win this fight potentially. You can see this Hersier getting roasted by the forest here. You gotta get out of there. So the shockwave would have been nice if it weren't for actually the Hersier to come in. So in the end, the shockwave kind of resulted in Nyan having a surround on his units. And we still have these raiding Olsarks that are getting chased down by the faster. We got 5.72 to 4.8. No Odin Olsark upgrade yet. Interesting. Why you wouldn't have it quite yet? We have our big fight down at the bottom, and it looks like Swiss Boy is taking the better end of that fight. A lot, much better. We kind of missed a lot of it, but that was a cleanup. Look at all the dead Hearthier here, and wish we could have followed it all of it. A little distracted by what's going on up here. We got a raid in on Odin King, but that's a big fight and a big win for Swiss Boy. The question I have to ask though is, why is he not pushing? You win a fight like that, you just push through. I think he's wanting to heal up his units, but even if he just sends his winning, his healthy ones down, he can just push right through. The villagers, we got a couple villagers dead, and most of the others are running away, but that is his hunt villagers. That's Odin. And a little bit of miscommunication here. We've got the heroes getting surrounded and dying, and a restoration. This is not a good restoration there. Mainly the reason they had to use it was because of the miscommunication there, where we had the Minotaur and the heroes fighting, and then the Hearthier not fighting. And Swiss Boy content to just sit back and do nothing. Why he wouldn't keep on pushing? The forest fires, you can see, kind of opened up a little bit there. Got Nyan Racing Cat coming through in the middle, attacking player. He's got an advantage here, but the big advantage for UCA right now is this. And why is he not pushing? Like, he pushes through, he still beats this army. You get the surround on the Axemen, you can just push right through. I don't know why Swiss Boy's being so defensive. Why is everyone Norse? Because this is an aggressive map, and Norse typically do well on aggressive team maps because of the mobility. Mobility is king in team games, and your Norse Hearthier with Loki, and then your Norse Ulfsarks are very flexible. That's why we're seeing it. Now we see, even though Swiss Boy has the huge advantage, he's not doing anything with it. He waited too long, and now he has to get through the wall. Still will insta-die. Because look at this, there's 56 HP. So we've got this back coming in on the back end for Nyan Racing Cat is coming in the back. And we're going to get the no, just one shot. If he has one unit attacking this wall here, all of this wall is going to go down at the same time. This is some... I can't believe, really, at this point, that players on Swiss Boy's level don't understand how shared HP works. If he just has one unit shoot at this wall is going to go down to the 50 hit points. And now we can see how many units he lost because he didn't know that. Now we have Raggy coming in, so we'll have a forest or a flaming weapons if we need it. But here comes Shelby, also with his own, and we can see that Odin King a little bit out of position with his own army. And we have the flaming weapons that's being used, but we're going to have Shelby coming in the back end. Kind of surprised they're fighting this. They being UCA, well, they're winning the fight actually, because of so many units died for Swiss Boy. And this is, oh man, Shelby doesn't even have to use flaming weapons here. This is now all of a sudden we had a good Swiss Boy was in a great position. Now he's not. I mean, we had a full army from player here, and kind of half an army from Nyan Racing Cat, and then we had a lot of Swiss Boy's units took a ton of damage pounding through this wall for no reason, when they could have just gone through it instantly. And now we have a flaming weapons that can be used for Shelby, and because of the early pressure on Odin King, he can't help. I mean, he's really doing nothing here. I mean, what is this? He's killing a few buildings. He can't do anything to help out, and Shelby can't. He just keep pressing. Because Swiss Boy's entire army is dead. So just find where. Well, I guess he is forcing a lot of idle time from Swiss Boy, who has to go down to his cows now. We do have some raids in the back, but the heroes here. Well, they're almost dead actually. So Nyan should be able to defend this. Yeah, purple is Thomas Shelby. Swiss Boy is going to try to catch these units. Actually, he could kill all these. Oh, the one attack mountain giant spawn. But Swiss Boy could have rolled over Bull Nyan. but he waited too long. And we had what? We had, oh, the surround on the Villies. Nyan does not notice. I would have kept all of these Hersia here to get the full surround. Oh, Nyan is still not noticing. Oh, and now we have a flaming weapons in up here on Nyan, a racing cat. Really good change of the map, actually. Because we see Nyan is down here having to defend. There is no army whatsoever. Nyan, who's lost 2 citizens, lost his town center, losing some army. And on the other side, we've got the attack on Shelby's base here. We would like to see the Fire Giant getting in. The Fire Giant has crush damage. He should be attacking the town center, not the battle board. But here comes some more Fire Giants. We'll probably, yup, get on that battle board and then come attack. But we've got the attack here, which is slowly getting defended, but can Swiss Boy, look at this, walling off of the 2 gold mines down here, which would maybe force Swiss Boy to go to right here. But so we've kind of got counter pushes. We've got Nyan Racing Cat in a really bad spot. Where is Burbs? He did a job. Nyan Racing Cat has no gold to train birds. Like if he had birds, in the Stephalian birds, he would be able to defend this. And now he's got gold, well, 1200 gold. And here come the birds. And if he could have got that 1200 gold just a little bit sooner, he could still probably save his town center. Because there's no no crush damage now. He should just be repairing this. He can repair this. Oh, he should not have lost that town center. But we have flaming weapons used down here. We still have a frost if needed from Odin King, who is kind of all over Shelby now. Like, Shelby leading score, but has no economy, or no base. But that's okay because he's Loki, and Loki, as long as they keep their Hersia alive, keep getting free units with the mist spawns. But yeah, this town center for Nyan Racing Cat, it should not have gone down. No reason for it to go down. He could have easily defended it. But we've got player over here to help out. Or games get so crazy. These maps like this are so fun. But Swiss Boy is basically fighting one-on-one here. Him versus Gold Lion, who now has the high score in the game. Now the tables have turned, and we've got all of these dwarves from. Well, it would be nice to get a little bit of a raid, but see, Nyan, because he had to defend, he can't raid. And now Odin King is kind of fighting. No, isn't kind of, he is fighting a player here who is able to defend. And he's probably gonna underworld. Yeah, he's gonna underworld to, where is he underworlding? Oh, right in Odin King's face. He is underworlding. This will probably get the frost out. Yep, here's the frost. The Hersia are able to escape the frost. They're so quick. And birds down here to help out. This should clear up the Gold Lion aggression here. Boy, this is risky, gathering right in the middle of the map. Ooh, right in the middle of the map. Risky business, but okay, nice building blocks here to kind of stop. But now Nyan has to switch. He needs to come up here and defend because we've got 20 seconds left. And well, I mean, the slow plugging away of the units that are frozen does help. Might be beneficial actually to have put the Frost Giants on the Underworld and to maybe kill it. There's a bird. If the bird can catch this ox cart, that would be gigantic. But they do know about that gold mine, but obviously they don't know that he is gathering from there. And the Frost Giants now are going down. But again, throwing Axemen on the hot plates. They are attacking the wrong units here. They're attacking, I think, the battle board. Crap. And so this town center is down. So we now have 2 players on 0 town centers. Swiss Boy is solidified. We now have Nyan coming up, but the question is it too late? His bird is not going to find the gathering villagers. We have Berserkers killing citizens in the back, and I think as this game goes on with the way the situation is, it's going to favor F2. I mean, this side is basically even, but player has two town centers. He's doing well. Nyan Racing Cat lost his base town center again and is building his other one. So you have got two UCA players and 0 town centers, and then the only one on F2 that doesn't have one, which now he just built one, is Shelby. So pretty hectic game. It's trending towards F2's direction though. I mean, if these Hersier get on that town center, they could stop that. But are pushing back for now. Now, as I say that, now not pushing back. We've got the upgraded heavy hoplites. No armory upgrades, but they are heavy. And Swiss Boy grabbing a second town center to try to match Gold Lion. Lion's army is where? Here. Looks like Gold Lion is aging up. Yep, he just now aged up. So Gold Lion is up mythic. Is that extra? So we can kind of stop and compare real quick what did extra mythic upgrade get. So Hersier get upgrades with the age up. So we're looking at, neither of them have armory upgrades, but we're looking at 10.4 attack to 9.6, 182 HP to 169, and that's your myth unit, your mythic age upgrade for your Hersier. So the Hersier is stronger. There are more myth units here to tank. What it looks like, oh, now we have the Nidhogg coming in. Looks like Swiss Boy has a slightly larger army, at least for units. Does he have the throwing axe when upgrade? No, so he has nothing that can really kill Nidhogg. So I think Swiss Boy will defend, but up here, Odin King can never do anything. With like he can't ever get a Ragnarok or anything because he doesn't even have a town center. And we've got Naya still just kind of trying to react to these Battle Boar raids. I think we can say that Shelby has played a really good game. He's been all over the map, really kind of dominating the top left half of the map is being dominated by Shelby, even when he had 0 town centers. Just dominating. The Underworld certainly helps, for sure. It helps, but he's trying to get it, but he can't. Town center goes down again. 0 town centers, so we have 2 town centers, 18 minutes in the game. The UCA has 2 town centers, and F2 has 5. And where is the army of Gold Lion? Gold Lion has a nice score, but honestly not much of an army. We have Swiss Boy using his own Nidhogg. We might see the Battle of the Flying Dragons here. No upgrade from the Throwing Axeman yet. Would be nice to see that. Yeah, we just have Nidhogg versus Nidhogg. They kind of cancel each other out. No spoilers. Means I don't know the results, player. There's the army showing up here, but that town center is down. And I don't know. I mean, obviously this game, you know, will I think win. I think it's trending F2's direction because we have no. I mean, Odin King has had no town center for like 6-7 minutes. And we have this fight is kind of just stalemating here. But we have, in the meantime, we have Gold Lion taking the back town center. Fire Giants, so it's hard to see what color. Okay, so these are Swiss Boy's Fire Giants, so he's got 2 of them, which he's got 3 of them with his forward tempo. Alright, see you, player. See ya. You catch it later. I bet you're excited to find out who wins. And okay, I guess Swiss Boy kind of winning the fight, but at the expense of he doesn't know about his back town center. And still, we're just kind of at the same spot here. And the Valiant Burden. Oh, the raid in the middle. Oh, Swiss Boy's dwarf economy has been found out. And yes, there is a restore on this game, which is annoying. I know that this is the only game in the series that has a save and restore, so we're going to have to do kind of that awkward thing where we will continue on with streaming a stream for the rest of Game 1. But we can look at real quick state of events here. We have before we move on to that. So gold line has no economy, actually. None. Nothing in the bank, but he does have villagers actually gathering. We've got his counterpart, Swiss Boy, has even less of an economy at 98 pop to 120. So Gold Lion is going to defend his side of the map. We also have Swiss Boy's gold miners have been completely found out. We're looking at Odin King, who's at 100 pop. That's all you can get. He's got the army of throwing axemen. Here we've got player is full. Player is ready to go mythic and start dominating. And Shelby, he's got some economy, a little bit of extra wood, it looks like. Which he might end up switching and just farming pretty quick. He'll probably grab another town center soon, maybe. He doesn't have much of an army. It looks like the battle board is pretty much his entire army. And then Swiss Boy we already looked at as nothing. So I think we're kind of towards the end of the match here. But we will give this game the remainder of its love. So real quick, we'll get to the overlay. I will load up the stream here. Guys, get your handsome host real quick. So let's load up the RTSLeague stream of this, and we will continue on with the remainder of the game, streaming the stream, and give my thoughts as we watch Blackadder controlling the movements here. Let's get going. Okay, we have already found the magical.
The middle. She's gonna be a huge.
All right, we're looking at 21:38 in game. I'm at. Oh, we want a minute 2. Okay, we are ready. Pausing. Okay. Change my overlay. Here we go. Kind of awkward. That's okay. Oh, I'm on the end of the game. Okay, this is it right here. So, the stream of the stream is here right now. And we've got, yeah, there's just no economy on anyone on UCA's side. Nobody on their team has economy, so I don't really see how they fight out of it. Like, the score line looks pretty close, but Swiss Boy just can't gather anywhere. I lost all of his vills in the middle. And a uncompleted wall there that the Herseer can just that the villagers are able to run right through. Oh, that's kind of a shame. So the wall was not completed. The vills could have been just trapped in there, but they can run right through. But I enter getting a third town center. But I mean, look, Swiss Boy is the only one that's decent as far as like situation on his team. But he has no economy now because they all just died. So he can't push at all. And I mean, he's getting a little help from Ryan here, but I mean, this isn't really accomplishing. This isn't going to be, some sort of game-winning push. And we can see player going up with age 4 Hephaestus. The underworld was destroyed on the top half, but without Swiss Boy having a bunch of Herseer here, there's nothing that can kill 6 fire giants. You can see Blackadder's going through all the economy. 9 Race Cat hasn't ever used any of his trees, but why make Dryads in this situation? Yeah. So this is what Swiss Boy's doing. He is clearing up the back that he can get his town center, but he's also losing the front here. And as far as aggression now, kind of even as far as like positionally, but all the fighting thus far has given F2 the attack advantage or the situational advantage, where they have the economies that they'll be able to push through. And of course, now you have a late game Zeus with a bunch of Hippaspis, Hoplites, probably even will mix in some Myrmidons at some point as well. And again, Odin King is just still defending. And at this point, even if he gets a Ragnarok, I mean, he's had no town center for like 8 minutes. He has no villagers to use Ragnarok. But so player looks like he's pushing in on Swiss Boy's base. We have Nyan Racing Cat's army coming behind player. We have the Fire Giants from Swiss Boy roasting a few units there. And we're gonna have the meeting of the Loki here, which this will not enough. There's really not enough Herseer on either side to finish off anything. So we're gonna see the Herseer getting killed, and then the Fire Giants are gonna slowly throw their flaming balls of fire at each other. But the big thing really is actually the fight that's half a screen up between player and Nyan Racing Cat. That's what we should be honestly looking at right now, because this is just kind of a stalemate. We need to be looking at the big fight. We're in the top end of as we're looking at houses. So here's the fight that we need to be looking at. So player kind of losing his army, but also destroying Swiss Boy's hometown center, and we can see the unupgraded units there from Nyan Racing Cat really aren't accomplishing a whole lot. And now we have Silent Hill, aka Shelby, in on the gold miners here, all over them actually. And Nyan isn't going to be able to defend this either. So Swiss Boy find himself in a pretty rough, still a rough economy. And he has to get pushed off of that and loses the ox cart too. So those dwarves are going to have to run for a while before they can find anything. And we also have Swiss Boy. He lost well, not really maybe lost the bottom part of the fight, but he had to come up and defend his main town center. As we see, the Ragnarok has been used for Odin King. We're checking to see how many vills. It's a... it's like a 28 vill Ragnarok. You know you're in a bad situation when even after using Ragnarok, you have the low score in the game. So that's not good. We've got a 28 vill Ragnarok, which I guess will kill a few of Shelby's town centers, maybe. Here, and yeah, he's going to kill that town center, and maybe he can even push through the middle, which, okay, that's okay. But Shelby is Loki. As long as he's running around with Herseer, he's in a pretty good shape. And we have Swiss Boy is at 2 town centers because he grabbed his base one, but Gold Lion is taking bottom one. And player, it looks like he might be going up to defend. Yeah, he's going up to defend the Ragnarok attack here. And this is kind of going to be the end. We got a lot of Toxotes. That's a perfect unit here. Player in the perfect position to defend this. Also has Hippaspis. Got Bellerophon has come soaring in on his flying unicorn thing. And this is going to be repelled. And with this attack not working from Odin King, I mean, he has legit nothing. They can probably just continue and push through to Odin King's base. They might have to kill a few, this army first. Would like to see the Bellerophon on the Fire Giant there, or the Frost Giant. I mean, something. And Odysseus also is not shooting at the. Come on, and Shelby's sitting there with so much army. I mean, player's kind of taking this fight by himself. He doesn't have to. Now come the Herseer in. The Toxotes should be shooting at the. Look at all these Fire Giants down here in the bottom. Oh man. It's just pure Fire Giants, but Odin King getting pushed away, and the score difference is becoming even larger, and that is the resign from Odin King. So that is going to be game 1. The resigns come in. That was a pretty fun game to watch, but we will move right on. So that's game 1. Let us update the scorecard here for game number 1. Update our scorecard and move on to game number 2. This is a best of 5. So our next game will be on UCA's home map. So let us move right in to UCA's map. Brunator, thank you for the follow. And game number 2 is going to be, I'm seeing some Egyptian. Anatolia. So the Owls pick Anatolia. It's their home map. They already played Anatolia in the quarterfinals, and they won that game pretty easily against their UCA counterparts. And we have Nyan Racing Cat got fortunate, just like last game, where he is the Atlantean that is on the side of the water. They do, I guess, have that 33% chance of being in the middle, which wouldn't be good because these Atlantean villagers, as we all know, are slow, fat, and so the time it takes to move takes a while. But let's review the players here. It looks like we have no player changes. We do have some god changes. We have Nyan Racing Cat is Kronos in the green color. We've got Swiss Boy is Loki, so he's the same god, Loki. And then Odin King is Odin, so Kronos, Loki, Odin. We've got our lone Egyptian player. Old Lion is Isis. Anatolia is a really good Isis map. A little bit better in 1v1 because he can just take map control and water control pretty easily. Team game, it doesn't quite translate the power quite as much, but still Egyptian on Anatolia is super strong. And we've got player Zeus as the pocket, and then we've got switching to Thor is Shelby. I would think you could stay as Loki here and it'd be good. I'm kind of surprised with the Thor pick. I would think that you would stay Loki on this map. Yo, what's up, Dolan Duck? Good to have you around. We have a bolt on the Oracle. That's to prevent the deconstruct on his dock. Interesting. I don't really know if that's necessarily worth it. I guess it maybe is because it also delays the... Oh, he's going to attack the Oracle too, and to slow it down a little bit more. That'll just delay the... Because what it does is it's going to delay that second deconstruct in the classical age. And oh, he's running the wrong way. He doesn't... I mean, you have to know the dock's here because this is where the house is built. So maybe at this point he's just deciding he's not going to deconstruct. He's going to deconstruct Shelby's dock instead. Actually a better idea. Given, I mean, he didn't know where the Ulsark was, but now Shelby is going to have to build not only a dock. Look at his economy right now. It's like crazy out of sync. 200 wood, 240 gold with the dock being deconstructed. And he might have to even make another Ulsark. Yes, he did. And he's going to have to build a temple with his second Ulsark. So that's actually a really... Even though it was delayed, the deconstruct actually is still doing quite a bit. It's going to slow down Shelby probably at least 30 seconds, if not more, into the classical age, which is going to help Nyan Racing Cat, who's going to shift his temple forward. Probably be aging up at 430. Yeah, maybe. Doesn't have a ton of, actually. Maybe not a 30. Seems a little delayed for some reason. Because you can age up at like right around 430 with no idle TC time, but we're looking at he's only 90% through and it's a little bit slow. Yeah, he's gonna be about like 12-13 seconds behind what he should have been, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, and this villager could have saved some time by getting on this board too. Like, look at this idle town center time. This is about 20 seconds of idle town center time, and that's a lot. I'm not sure why he was delayed that much. I mean, there was no aggression. He gets immediate dock and fish. I don't know why he's that slow. I mean, that's pretty big. And where is the temple being time shifted to? All the way in the back. He only has one oracle here. He'll probably make two more to go with the oracle push. He does have no things on oracles. Oh, here's his other one. I'd like to get him ready to go here. Yeah, but yeah, he could be aging up right now. Nyan should be. And yeah, they're not even going to see. We're going to see about a 5-minute advance for Shelby. A little bit quicker for player. The Isis is probably just going to boom pretty happily. Yeah, he's going to have about a 555 advance with a pretty substantial fish boom. You can see him massing docks as the Egyptians do with their cheap docks. And now we've got Nyan up. We're going to look and see how much time is on that timer for deconstruct. And oh, the old Sark is spotted by the back build temple. And Nyan is just going to have to do what he can do as best as he can fighting a 2-on-1. Though I don't know really how much Shelby will do for boat aggression. He might just stay land. You could potentially grab like some early town centers and maybe just go for a kind of a interesting. Shelby is building in player's base, probably to help out on this side. This is here a forest fire. Okay, right here. And then for some reason Gold Lion decided to go to the smallest forest imaginable in his town center.
Yuji?
Just so got your boats though. You watch your boats. So strategically, what do we see here? We see pressure from Odin King on the fish. It's really hard and takes a long time to really kill these docks. We do have Gold Lion making boats. And then we have Swiss Boy is not fighting water at all. I would like to see him get a little more fish. He got 9 fish. We've got our big boat fight here with player taking some initial good fights. Player is up. Oh, button. Player is up with restoration, which is going to help with the boat fight. We have a Herseer coming in on Shelby's longhouses. Troll here. Actually, oh, okay, we got a random deconstruct on a longhouse, which I guess does help. And there's still 2 here though producing, so I don't know if Swiss Boy would be able to push through. And yeah, we've got Gold Lion going with a pretty big boat fight here. I thought he would maybe go with a little bit more of a quicker heroic. He loses his Sphinx to this run Herseer. Oh, get the fight up here, which is about even-ish. I mean, but it's good because it keeps player is defending both of his and Silent Hill's fish. And meanwhile, we kind of have you have Odin King doing that as well. But Falk has not been spotted and has killed 2 villagers and should not kill this 3rd one. No. And I don't know if Swiss Boy wins this fight here. Trying to stay under the healing spring to heal up. The Valk needs to get around to the Axeman. Just to like tank up damage. Yeah, that's gonna defend. So Swiss Boy's gonna have to return the voice of the sweet prince. Well, thank you. You can call me that. Makes you feel better.
Gary.
So about even, it looks like. Oh, King, where is he for resource? He is aging up with Nord. Oh, the Nord age up. I like it. That'll give him some Kraken and then trees. I wonder if he's going to use the trees and the Kraken to come clear up the docks. That would almost be worth it here. We've got the aggression continuing with all of these throwing axemen and such. Would be nice maybe rather than for Swiss Boy to have rebuilt here, because his units are so much more mobile than axemen, would be to have come over on this side and attack. I mean, because look how far out of position Swiss Boy's army would have been. And Nord is up for Odin King. I think it would be worth it. Maybe. You do have the priest and the pharaoh there. But we do have the Kraken. Where's the Kraken? Here he comes. Are we going to see another Kraken? He's still making a lot of boats. But yeah, I think this is a bit of a mistake for Swiss Boy to be coming back this way. As much as you can, if you can completely flip the point of attack while being aggressive, that gives you the advantage, especially when you're the one with the mobile units. It looks like he's going to try to grab this town center, maybe. Okay, Forest Fire's been used. Alright, a little bit, late game of the Forest Fire, but the Valve might be able to pick off a couple bills running away. Yeah, I don't like what Swiss Boy's doing. So he just keeps on building buildings, but has to keep falling back. And now we have the Walking Woods has been used where? Like, imagine if Swiss Boy comes over here with the Walking Woods. The Herseer could have been here, attacking with the Walking Woods. And that would be huge. I mean, that would almost be... I mean, that would be forcing out what? Ancestor's Eclipse? Probably. Which the Herseer would be able to kill. I think that was a big mistake. Just grabbing this town center. I don't think really... I think that's an opportunity missed. I mean, it will kill the town center. But think of all the vills that could have been killed. Town center's down. The trees could probably just run away and just kind of distract here. And now we see, looks like he's going to grab this town center. Yeah, we do have red winning the water. That's because of the double Kraken. I love the Kraken. Look at them even using their insta special on the fishing ships. And Gold Lion losing water like this, not good. And the one thing though with Swiss Boy grabbing this town center, it does prevent Gold Lion from grabbing. I mean, this is Gold Lion's forward town center, so Gold Lion isn't going to be able to grab a forward town center. He's going to have to try to mine from here. And meanwhile, we've been completely ignoring this part of the map, which is seeing Nyan, Racing Cat, and Player kind of in an endless water fight, where Nyan should fight this now. We've got 12 boats to 16. I guess maybe the Greek would still win that. Where the trees, did they get cleaned up? Looks like they did. Now that did stop the age up for Shelby for a while. And now we've got Swiss Boy falling back and taking now his town center there as well. King is all over the water. Really like to see Swiss Boy maybe one more dock for some more. But yeah, the Kraken, kind of an underrated water unit that you don't see as often anymore. But Red has completely won the water. He has Salt Amphora. No upgrade. Come on, Swiss Boy, you gotta get your fish upgrade. Island Hill is now up with a Frost, which they might use. You could probably just Ancestor Eclipse this and take the town center down. And then maybe Frost and keep the aggression up. Would have to. Kind of surprised it took this long for Gold Lion to get his Siege Workshop out. He got his first Siege Workshop now. Is coming. Fight here with 9 Racing Cat is heroic. So we've got just a couple. Oh, holy H4 Balder. He's only at 2 town centers. And now he's up Balder, and Gold Lion has used Eclipse. That is to stop the Balder. Which, I don't really know if that's a terrible thing. I mean, I would almost just grab another town center and just keep the aggression up. And then, as long as you can keep F2 in this situation, if you wait with your Ragnarok for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes and get more units, I mean, you should be able to push through this just because of the huge pop advantage and then just completely wipe Gold Lion off of the map. Because Gold Lion is not having the game that you would want from Isis here. And look at the villagers chasing the Mountain Giant, getting mowed down by the longbows. Oh, that's not good. Not good. So the Mountain Giant finished kicking off the last unit going there. And we have also 9 Racing Cat winning, kind of winning the top half. It depends on how much player wants to fight, I guess. Player's not up age 3, only age 2. He seems like he could maybe be a little bit, past what he is as far as situationally. And now we do have this push, so no ancestors needed to actually push this because Shelby, or Swiss Boy's army is all the way back here. And yeah, we do have Odin King is kind of holding off on the Ragnarok. I mean, look, 3,000 house, and he's way ahead of everybody else in score. So he's certainly just waiting a little bit. Now we're gonna have another kind of build genocide here. Oh, come on. We are! Look at this! Twice now! He's villager. This mountain giant. Well, come on, shoot. What are these? Shoot, man! I don't know what he's trying to do with his boats here. Alright, ancestors used to repel that attack. All of these villagers die again. And the mountain giant still stands tall. Ancestors pushing the attack back here. Lion really hasn't done anything at all on land, and the fight was defended. Actually, now we have player on the attack, and now we have another Balder. The instant Balder age up and then Balder usage. I think, no, we didn't see who used Balder. Oh, it was Odin King used Balder. So Odin King with Balder now. Lion was finished bashing this with just one single behemoth. Killed that town center. We have Swiss Blade throwing down some towers. Looking really good this game for UCA. Gold Lion is a late game like Isis kind of mercenary spam. That's gonna be a long time coming because he lost his water. So he probably has no economy anyway. Can't do that. Got a trade route for Odin King. Let's see the attack upgrades. Oh, he only has 2 armory upgrades though? That's a little disappointing. He's gonna run right in the face of these chariots. Maybe fall back a little bit. There you go. Could have done the garrison trick, garrison on this side, and then instantly put him out over here as well. But you can see, just we're looking at Odin King's population. Oh, here comes the Frost. Actually not a very big rag. Only at 185 pop right now. Is Odin King. Missing houses? Where did his houses go? Guess they got killed here? I don't know what's going on with Odin King and why he doesn't have houses. But really, I mean, why don't we see if Swissway comes over here and attacks, they should be able to eliminate or at least force out the Ragnarok, because Silent Hill is mythic and can use a Rag, but looks like I mean, every Ville lost is one fewer Rag hero. And I'd like to see Swissboy come over here and instant force the Rag. I don't know if Odin King can fight this. He should fall back. This is kind of a wasted Ragnarok. He's basically fighting 3 here. You got a few units from player, we've got a lot of units from Shelby over here, and then there's nothing over here that Shelby can defend with, and like, Swissboy doesn't seem like he's really been doing much. Like, what's this? Why? Oh, man. UCA is kind of throwing this a little bit, I think. And now we have Swissboy with the what? Alright, well, we've got flaming weapons in. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, considering he's fighting 3. I mean, flaming weapons doesn't allow you to fight 3. The throwing axemen, though, are kind of getting path blocked by the chariots. Do the throwing axemen have the... Oh, no, they don't. Yeah, UCA is a little bit throwing this. I mean, we still do have a lot of pressure over here, but don't forget, Silent Hill still has the Ragnarok. Here comes the Ragnarok. Look at these armory upgrades. It's a best of 5. So the armory upgrades from him are phenomenal. The armory upgrades for Odin King are not, which Odin King had the positioning. No, Purple Rig isn't going to end it, because this is his rig, right here. I mean, Shelby has, we're looking at 182 pop rig. And okay, so the push is kind of working here. Because they had to come over and defend from Odin King on this side, so... they're... Okay, so I guess the push is working. Maybe, I guess I didn't realize... I don't know. There's still a lot of resources that are being expended over here. I mean, you still have the chariots attacking here. We only have just the first Pierce upgrade, but there are no heroes anymore to deal with the fire giant, so they're gonna have to fall back. And UCA still does have full run of the map. Yeah, UCA, let's take a look at the economies here. Goal line is nothing, and that is though hard to hold with something like this. He has very little trade route and is losing his gold mines, so yeah, I don't know. There's just no economy from F2 to replenish anything. And so UCA, because of the early game, they're able to maybe have a little bit of suboptimal plays because there's just no economy on the opponent's side. Why is Lion so far behind? I think he was... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he did quite the right play as the Oasis here. You kind of... I would grab... I mean, if I were him, wouldn't have gone so heavy on the fight and would have grabbed the town center earlier. And that is GG, so... 3 minutes ago I was questioning maybe UCA was throwing it, but then did not realize how poor F2's economies were. So that even though UCA was kind of throwing units in and losing them, F2 couldn't replenish with any economies. And I'm sure if we look at the economies, it's going to be substantially different. Not actually as bad as I thought. It actually was fairly close. But the big thing is Gold Lion just didn't quite have the game that he probably wanted to have here. It's not quite what he needed. And yeah, UCA had good trade, like even with the Ragnarok, he's down at 34 bills, and look, he's right back up. But yeah, Dave was all over that. He was right. Say that F2 wins. Well, cool. We aren't going to have a 3-0 sweep. So that is game 1, or game 2. And that is UCA's win. And now we're going to go on to game number 3 here. Look at the military. Nothing too eye-popping here. Economy, yeah, resources distributed. But okay, game number 3. This is going to be F2's home map. Yeah, purple didn't have much of a reg. He'd only been at 2 town centers for just a little bit, so he didn't have much of a unit. In fact, he's just kind of throwing his reg right there. That's all right, Dave. We'll go with it. Game 3. It's F2's home map. If it's not met it, I would be amazed. And here we are, game number 3 on... met it. What a surprise. What a surprise it is met it. F2's home map. It has been players' common home map for quite some time now in RTSLeague. Yeah, ever since TSM. Yeah, he's been doing that, and now F2 continuing that tradition of the Mediterranean home map. So we have 2 water maps in a row. Oh, Anatolia is kind of a land water. And then next map is another water map too, actually. The old F2 player. Yeah, I was F2 for a little bit. Got my championship ring and moved on. But anyway, let's look at the players. I saw a new player has appeared. But let's go through F2's player base here, which we are looking at F2 player. Man, he is Zeus. What a surprise. We have Heimdall is switched in for Shelby because Norse unmet not quite what you want. Aranos unmet can do some things. You get the Vortex later to kind of swap sides. You get the faster boats that allow you to double and triple pretty easily on water. And then the third player is Gold Lion as Zeus. So Zeus Aranos versus Swiss Boy as Kronos. And Racing Cat also as Kronos. And Odin King as Gaia. So Kronos, Gaia versus Zeus, Aranos, Zeus. So we are obviously going to see the bolt. We're going to have a second bolt. This is kind of pointless because there's a third oracle. Oh, no, that's Heimdall's oracle. So the purpose of the bolts there, so we can't deconstruct the dock. Honestly, at this point, you probably would just send a fishing ship forward and deconstruct. Why not? You know? The intent there is to slow down Gold Lion on the water. Really here is kind of a misplay from UCA. Because in the previous game, we saw the bolt on a oracle to slow down the deconstruct. You're facing 2 bolts here, so you should just send all 3 of your oracles forward. I mean, what do you really have to scout as Swiss Boy here? There's nothing, you don't need to scout at all. You don't need to scout, so why not just come forward with all 3 oracles and do your deconstructs? And we can see Gold Lion is kind of preemptively anticipating deconstructs and building a second dock. Interesting. I mean, it's a slightly less optimal build, but it is what it is. Hello, Aya, and for those just joining, no spoilers in the chat. I do not know the results. We are in game number 3 of the semifinals. This is F2's home map. 3 players to be the most powerful team. I think you have to go with Magyar. Good 1v1s and team games. Magyar. Maybe? Green Sea Squash? I think that was the current ones, maybe. But I think it would be Magyar, Green Sea Squash, and I don't know, there's so many players to choose from for your third. All these pigs, wow. All sorts of pigs. I don't know what your third would be. I'd be in the old B clan. Well, it was kind of a hand-picked selection of just a few people. Aya, maybe? Can you say Aya, though? I know he's in the chat, but can you say it after the WKT games from yesterday? I don't... Against him. Alrighty. Hello, Brazil. Good to have you on board. We're seeing Athena Hermes. Ooh, so 1 ceasefire. Gold Lion with 3 docks. Interesting. Oh no, I like Aya. I think he's a great player. It is kind of VIP only at this point. We really aren't interested in doing like a legitimate clan kind of a thing. Really, it's just kind of me and few old buddies, and then some more old buddies. That's about it. But who knows? Maybe it'll change. I don't know. Things always change. All right. Well, everybody's pretty much hitting age 3, age 2 at the same time. It'd be interesting to see what player does with his ceasefire. I think he was anticipating some very aggressive play from UCA, and we aren't seeing anything on land, actually. There was nothing. Like, there's no forward shifted temples, no oracles fighting anywhere, and kind of, if you're not going to do that, why are you picking Chronos here? You don't have a deconstruct on Heimdall's docks. Like, I don't know if they didn't have the line of sight, if F2 did a really good job of blocking attempted line of sight, but you would, if you could get both your temples here along with deconstructs, you could have done some damage on Heimdall. But in the end, you pick Chronos and meant it to get early aggression, and if you don't get the early aggression, you're kind of picking Chronos for no reason. Yeah, the auto Shiro. Only one guy can do that strat effectively, and he is not in this game. We have the other deconstruct on the other dock, but without any sort of land follow-up here, it just kind of seems so pointless. I mean, you're delaying the boat production a little bit, I guess, but does it really matter? And this isn't a winning fight for UCA here. Valor used somewhere. I don't know where. This boy used the Valor. I'm not really sure where. Oh, defend against the Minotaur. Oh no, Odin King has played it around Chronos before. Yeah, this aggression from UCA just seems kind of so disjointed. They couldn't effectively deconstruct at the beginning, and then they couldn't effectively ever time shift docks, and then now you're fighting 2 Greeks on water as 3 Atlanteans. I mean, it just doesn't work. The Greek ships are stronger with more range on top of being stronger already, and then you have to fight the restoration too. I just don't see how that works. Gold Lion is kind of, you know, this is a bit pretty much straight up over here. This is for now straight up, but see, I do have Twitch. Yes, I stream. It's the same. I stream Twitch and YouTube at the same time. High tech like that. Should be able to push through right here. Yeah, let's see the F2 pushing through. Do we have anything going on the land at all? Nothing. Nowhere. Temple randomly getting shifted over here. You could run these little guys in through the vills and just do a little bit of nonsense. We have a restoration. Oh, not the restoration you want. It, I guess, forces UCA back long enough for Heimdall to come up and defend. But we can see Heimdall kind of has more boats than Nyan Racing Cat anyway. This is a winning fight for Gold Lion now because he has fully healed boats against half damage bolts. And we got the Carnivora gets the insta attack on players' boats there. Come on, go forward. A little bit of... There we go, go forward. Okay, we've got Swiss Boy grabbing his town center. That's the first town center being grabbed that I can see on the mini-map. Water fight pretty even, I guess, but as soon as player collapses, this is going to be a good fight for F2 here. Player just, yep, there we go. There's the collapse from player. Heimdall can now fight this, and this is going to be really good for F2. This is a solidly winning fight here. Really good exchange there for F2. Could have done a little bit more damage on the boats as they retreated, but that's okay. You know, easy to watch and see. Gold Lion's going to win this fight as well. You might actually back here, maybe. We got 16 boats to 15. Yeah, he can just stay and fight this. I mean, 290 HP to 240, 5 attack to 6. So, yeah, this is going to be a winning fight for Gold Lion here on the bottom. This fight is starting to maybe stalemate just a bit. No. Ryan going back, and Odin King. See if the Carnivora can get a swipe on the way through. Actually, it's a lot of range. The special does. Triremes are like right on the edge of it. Oh no, you gotta attack though. You got to target it because the auto target is a little bit delayed. Oh, here it is. Oh, gets it. Hello, Naz. Hello, Yadin-ho, my friend. And now we see F2 is kind of firmly on the aggression now on the water. Again, two Greeks, the power of 2 Greeks. How do you defend? Yeah, it's hard to. Got Gold Lion 2 with the free myth unit and the 2 heroes. So you can kind of get control of that town center as well. And this is a very familiar sight for those of you who watch a lot of F2's RTSLeague games. Is F2 winning the water, F2 transitioning to land, and it's what we got here. We got F2 in strong position. And at this point, we're going to be facing 2 late game Greeks. What do you do as UCA? I mean, the game's going to kind of slowly plod on for a little bit while everybody grabs town centers and booms up. And then we probably won't see a whole lot of fighting until Mythic. But yeah, the writing is kind of on the wall right now. I don't see how you can as UCA fight back out of this. Hello, Mr. Bagel, too cool for school, huh? Well, as I say that, you're gonna see a little bit of fighting up here in the top. This Swiss Boy has to make an army to take his town center. So we'll see him grabbing his town center probably pretty soon. Look at all of our resource counts here. Gold line, not a whole lot. Player, decent resources. 600. And Gold King has a lot of resources, but what you can do with the 500 food? That is a lot of gold. 1100 gold. This way is 900 gold. So a little bit of resource mismanagement. Some of the players, but you lose the sea and you have to transition to land. It's easy to kind of have a mix-up with your economies for a little bit. A good army here. I think the only way that we can see UCA fight out of this is if they are able to double the top side before player comes, or before Heimdall comes over and helps out and push through this town center. Easier said than done because we do have a ceasefire still, so if it gets too iffy up here, we'll probably see a ceasefire just to buy some time. I don't know why he isn't pushing through. He wins this fight here. Pushing, and Nyan should have had a temple up here. Oh, Nyan's in the back. Getting another... see, this is the case where I like Chronos because you can do things like this, but if this is in the front now, like if he had this army here, oh man, you could get on this town center. Does he not know about it? Does he not know? You run away from the heroes. Like, you know there's heroes here. Run up to this town center. You'd probably force out a ceasefire. You might do that now. Maybe. We can only hope. But yeah, this is the only way back is an early heroic push for UCA. And it looks like, yeah, he is going to. Does he have another? Might have another. Okay, he almost has another one out. I think this is going to force out a ceasefire. Because there are no bolts, because both bolts were used on the early oracles. So we have this ceasefire coming, maybe, probably. Heimdall is a little bit slow to help out here. We have the shockwave on the Behemoth to buy some time. I don't know if that's enough time that's being bought though. And Gold Lion, high score. Probably has economy. And there is the ceasefire. That is the ceasefire. That will buy time. Player will use that to grab his 4th town center. You can see that this little bit of aggression here has caught, say, UCA up a little bit in score. But they have no fish economy. Doing for eco upgrades. Oh, Gold Lion, gotta get the boat upgrade. H3 Apollo for player. And we have Heimdall is also aged up as well. We had a trader that was used. Where was the trader used? I don't know if I saw it. Used up here? No. Was it used down there? No. What got trader? No. Not sure. This town center should still go down though. And I think Nyan might... No, he's not going to win this fight. There's too many units. Here, oh, there's the trader. Well, it just hadn't been used yet. That's why I didn't see it. Alright, so the birds will cancel out the birds. But Nyan is not going to win this fight because we've got Dryads coming in. We do have the Behemoth, though, taking down that back town center, but probably should not have trained that temple. What should have happened here, what Nyan should have done, is he should have shifted his temple during ceasefire to here and made his other Behemoth up on the front, and then could maybe have potentially, with all of the attack here, gone through and killed that forward town center. But Heimdall's gonna hold this now. Yeah, a little bit better economy because he has the fish. And you've got player at 4-2 town centers, and we've got the underworld up here to solidify in the top. And all F2 has to do is solidify. And they should be fine, because you have player up 4-2 town centers. See this nice little raid that kind of went around the back end here on some gold miners and such. Up there, he knows about it. King is up with Rhea. Nice to see the towers being built here. still have... see, now we've got, I don't know, these behemoths are just a little bit of a waste of... I don't know. I thought Heimdall would push through here, but he needs to delete his boats. That's his problem. He's kind of pop capped because he's at 2 town centers. So actually, he grabbed the third. He grabbed one of players. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Never mind. He's at 3, but he's still a little bit pop capped up here. Enough units here. Going down the Dryads. But yeah, there's just not enough units for Nyan to hold this. And player has to come back through and still defend Gold Lion. This game would actually get a bit closer than I thought it would. I think Nyan... See, Nyan's not getting any value out of his Behemoths back here. Like, if the last 2 Behemoths come up to the front here, it's a whole lot more pressure that they could put on. And for some reason, Swiss Boy is auto-queuing Promethean still, which is preventing him from making any Behemoths himself. Like, if you have 4 Behemoths here, you could probably have taken down the town center and then potentially taken down the other. As player has to go back. Got any deconstructs? No deconstructs. Player did get the building upgrade as we saw as this was being attacked. Don't know if it's quite going to go down. There is Odysseus at the crossing away at the... Ooh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. One more swipe. One more. Oh, he did get it. Alright, okay. Nice little counter attack here. And wow, we've got Swiss Boy is still all over Gold Lion, who is stuck in age 2. The aging. No. Looking age 4, he can't. Interesting. Players up Mythic though, and it's looking pretty good, as you know, all things considered for UCA. Still have Heimdall having to clear all of this nonsense up. This is so annoying. Facing enemy Chronos players. What world is this? UCA doesn't want to grab a town center, apparently. Okay, Tartarian Gate has been used on the back. I don't know about that Tartarian Gate. I think UCA was going to push through this position anyway. Oh, he did use it on the Underworld, though. He did, but okay. Well, that makes a little more sense. Maybe? I guess? But see, now he just deleted it. He deleted his own Tartarian Gate just to kill the Underworld. I guess player probably could have held because of his position and come through and defended this, but it was kind of the safe play. It was the safe play for UCA to ensure that they pushed through this position. But I think maybe you have to be a little bit more than just a safe play in order to win this. I think you need to have the aggressive play and like use the Tartarian Gate a little bit back to do, you know, to interfere with this, and then just assume you're going to push through as well anyway. So it's a safe play. Not a bad play. We have the Trader Oasis there. We have the chaos that was used in some of these units. The bird's going to do a lot of damage here. There's no heroes, so the bird will actually do a good bit of damage to all these Arcus. Push them back, and Nyan Racing Cat is up Helios. But if player has time to stabilize, you can see he's getting his armory upgrades, bronze mail, bronze shields coming in. Heimdall is aging up Helios as well. Nyan Racing Cat up Helios. Oh, player was trying to sneak in back here and take this town center. We have a Shockwave left, 3 Vortexes, and Gold Lion has an Underworld. Where do you Underworld at Gold Lion here? Where do you Underworld? I think maybe what you do is you have player fortify this position, and then Underworld in the back. I that's what you do. And we can see the trade route getting stopped by the boats here, because you're at the part of the game where as soon as UCA starts getting on the, or as soon as F2 starts getting on the aggression, they'll win. Like as soon as they can stabilize for good, they'll win because they're still ahead. But these, I think these are trying to come around the back to get line of sight for when player uses his Titan Gate. Like the Arcus, pure Arcus actually isn't bad in this position. You get the Arcus, you get the towers, and then you can get the Fire Siphon, so you get a pure ranged composition here. Just to come back a little bit though. They're a little bit forward because we can see they were taking some fortress damage here. You need a few units to get on the ballista, the Helipolis. Do we have any traders yet? We have traders coming from Odin King. What I'm saying is you can potentially trader this other Hika Gigantes, which has massive siege damage, and maybe push through this town center. But the raid back here is being held. We have the Helios has been used to shift everything back here, and this is a responding vortex with Heimdall, which will probably take care of this. And we have a third vortex coming in with Nyan Racing Cat, and that will end the pressure on the front and switch it to the back. And this could be the sandwich that Goal Line finds itself in Butter Deli time. We're going to see this town center in the back end getting destroyed. And because the vortexes have been used, this is allowing player now to start his Titan Gate. And this town center will go down. The hero here. Triple vortex. And that will kill the town. It is down. So the town center's down, but they have to run from this position. So the question is, in the end, is it worth it to use 2 god powers to kill the back town center, which stops your aggression on the front for the time being? And they want to get line of sight of this. Is there any siege from either Swiss Boy or Odin King? Odin King doesn't have siege. Nyan doesn't have siege. Nyan doesn't really have a whole lot. Like what I'm thinking of here is doing a vortex to get the town center, or not the town center, get the Titan Gate. There's not enough siege to push through. And see, now Goal Line can just rebuild this town center. Trader on the Colossus. So I don't know. It was a flashy play, those vortexes there, but I don't know if it really helped at all. You're using 2 vortexes and a bit of your army, and that vortex allows this. And if player gets up the Titan Gate, I don't know how Odin King can defend. Like, I would almost like to see now just do your double vortex down here. I mean, you can get line of sight through with a unit here. I'm kind of surprised they aren't doing that. Why we aren't getting the... because this isn't gonna work. There's a lot of units here to defend. I don't know if they can push through this. The Chaos Bird is actually big, because that means they can attack the Hika, but this is the only crush damage that's being dealt right now. Is with these Hikas, and we see Gold Lion had to stop repairing for a bit. He ran out of gold. He just reached Heroic Age, or Mythic Age. Oh, this Titan Gate, I don't think they can defend it. Maybe UCA could have held if they would have double vortex next here. Like, even after they vortex in the front, it still wasn't almost lost. They could have double vortex down here, and potentially, and you'd have Heimdall reacting with his own vortex. But they potentially, with all 3 of them, could have maybe pushed this position. And now we have the Underworld to where? A defensive Underworld. I would have just got offense with it. I don't think you need the underworld here. This is a wasted underworld. Because they're going to be able to hold this anyway. Because there's no siege. So, kind of the purposeless underworld would have been better. He's gathering gold from the middle. I love it. Would have been better to underworld in the back, but that's okay. But the Titan here is he's going to be able to clear everything out for sure. Gonna move on up here. Player, I guess, is coming just to help out and push through this position, but I think that this is the end now because the aggression is over from UCA. They are even in town centers, but you got triple Atlantean. And I don't know how you defend. I mean, making Hero Arcus isn't the play either. They are, though. The player is a little bit late to notice this, and the town center already half dead. You move these Arcus down, might be able to kill the units, and players, the rest of his army is kind of way up here. And a few units there. He's going to lose this town center, isn't he? But I don't know. I think you almost just ignore the Titan. Well, if you fight it. But interest. Okay, though, the town center down. It's just so close to just the domino effect. As soon as F2 starts rolling, it's just gonna go down and down. Because look at this. Beyond this, there's nothing. Beyond this, there is nothing. Like, all F2 has to do is just break the front on one side, and it's game over. And, you know, I mean, killing this, I don't know if really killing this underworld really accomplishes. I mean, I guess the underworld is an underworld, so it's good to kill it. Is it gonna go down, though? No! 180 hit points. If this fire siphon would have been up there, would have maybe gone down. How many more traders? No more traders. We do have vortexes still. And I can just rebuild this town center, but I don't see, at this point I think you just let the Titan kind of just kill town centers and don't worry about it. So the not pushing through there. Now we've kind of got a double up here, and there's nothing to kill those fire siphons, so this boy's gonna lose his forward. He kind of missed an opportunity as Chromans. You can time shift your towers. Could have time shifted all of these towers once you push through right here. Oh. Vortex. Before the town center is down to get on this build here, when all you need to do to clean this up is just build some upgraded siege. And then we have the counter vortex from Swiss Boy. So it's another Atlantean vortex party here. Where did Heimdall's army go? He had no army. He literally just vortexed like 3 units. Which is allowing this town center to be repaired. But we've got the Myrmidons coming in. What kind of upgrades do these boys have? They got a good set of upgrades. Player has rebuilt this town center. He also has the build back here, along with a few villagers from Heimdall. I like this push. I just think UCA just has to do so much in order to defend this, and I think now is when the buildings start to crumble. They had chances. They had chances. I think with some perfect play, they could have maybe taken the game, but I think it's too late now. But they made it interesting. This was a really fun game to watch. It really was. But I mean, just look at all this population that's chasing this Titan. And it's just so much. We have another vortex here to defend this. Basically had the vortex away. We have Heimdall re-vortexing to kill this. Interesting. So he has no more vortexes, actually. Oh, he's having a common vortex to kill this, but I don't know if he's got quite enough. But this is a bit of a scary... Oh no, they're dealing with this. Dealing with that. But the push here. You got late game Zeus. All of his armory upgrades. Champion Myrmidons. How do you hold? How do you hold? Like this, though. All in the trade, though. Gotta save his villies, though. Which they're gonna be saved. Yep. Good garrisoning. Saved and right in the trade route here. Heimdall's gonna have to produce more to defend this. this isn't enough. I'd like to see some time-shifted towers coming through. What kind of eco are we looking at here? Player Gold Lion is at full pop, good eco. Players at full pop, good eco. Heimdall's full pop, good eco. Iron Racing Cat not full pop, or Golden King not full pop. Iron Racing Cat has a ton of resources, but only at 115 pop room. He lost his town center. And Swiss Boy is also a full pop. So we got everybody basically at full pop except for Nyan, who's dealing with his destroyed town centers. But yeah, this push, how do you defend it? This is a nice back build, but it's just not quite enough. We see a Sky Passage coming in. Can't build this. We're getting the tower push on the side, and I think the Titan did its work. Oh, the Chaos Colossus saving it for now. Being dealt with. Trying to build it. You can see 5-6 town centers right now to 9. And this Titan's coming up will probably... It's kind of cool. This Titan has wandered from the bottom end all the way up around to the top now. And now he's just been destroying town center, and coming up. And now he's going to finish on that town center. Which would hopefully now, with the position that Gold Lion's in, he can just put some siege here and just push through the rest of this. So yeah, that town center is going to go down. And it was a slow fight. All these idle units. But eventually, F2 coming out on top. There is the resign. Pretty good medic game there. I think UCA got a little bit out of their game early on. They weren't able to do the early aggression that they wanted with the time shifts, with the deconstructs and such. But they had a nice middle game. I think Gold Lion maybe caught a little bit unawares. Wasn't quite ready for that. What's up, Jonesy? We have at least one more game to go. We are at a best of 5. F2 is up 2-1. We are going to game number 4, which is going to be another water map, a pre-selected Sea of Worms. Let's take a look at the post-game, though. Take a look at resources. Actually, you have F2 not much ahead despite winning the water. Yeah, that was a fun game. Scoreline, decently ahead for the most part. It got a little even here, but the big thing later was the Titan. I think if UCA maybe used their vortexes on that Titan gate, there were potentials of them winning, but the Titan coming out and flattening settlements that just kind of a war of attrition. Just eventually they weren't able to hold on either side, and then had kind of this side held, I guess, but this side was folding, and that was kind of the end of it. So let us move on to game numero 4. That's 4. Sea of Worms. An aggressive water map. So Sea of Worms, an aggressive, very bright water map here. And again, F2 versus a UCA. We are looking at the UCA players on the top. Kronos, Hades, and Kronos. So yes, this is the semifinals. We're in game number 4. Rich CM 0007. We're looking at F2 up on the top. We've got Gold Lion as Oranos. We have Heimdall as Oranos and player as Zeus. The bottom end here is Swiss Boy as Hades, Golden King as Kronos, and Racing Cat, the old Nyan Racing Cat no less, as Kronos. So Oranos, Zeus, Kronos, Hades. I like F2's gods better here. This is even more cutthroat than Meta when it comes to early aggression. These games were played yesterday, Sunday, so they are kind of hot off the press. No, 2 days ago. They were played Saturday. But I like UCA's player god composition better. I think you can get a lot of value with your deconstructs here. Like here, because this is going to be a big fight. There's not a lot of fish that's available. Oh, this is good though. The aggression on the Vil. I don't know why he doesn't just fight the Vil. Like, just fight. first turn and fight, you win. Atlanteanville wins. Might just need fight, but this is going to force player to have to redock, and will allow Nyan to get the fish, because again, like I said, there's not a lot of fish to go around. This isn't like Meta where every player gets kind of their own little bay to build in. I mean, this is, you just get one shoreline. Your back player usually gets pretty decent fish. Your middle player, decent fish. Your front player, not so much, because, I mean, look, there's not a whole lot of fish in here to fight for. And we're going to see another deconstruct here. And this is why I like the double Chronos over Aranos here, because as soon as this dock gets up, we're going to see another deconstruct, and players anticipating that he's already got his foundation ready for the next one. And there's the other deconstruct, so that's really going to slow player down a lot. Texts, are they? Okay, so this does work. I did fix that. So you can see the resources and all that. Nobody aging up yet. Of course, it's only 2:34. But you got your Chronos on the front versus your Zeus. Okay, not a big deal. But yeah, we can see that Nyan has 3 fish. He's gonna have 4 fishing boats out before player even has 2. And Nyan's gonna be able to get 2 of these fish as well. And then you're gonna end up seeing double oracles plus Prometheans, more deconstructs, and then you're gonna get a pestilence on another player's dock. So I mean, going into this, just looking, I mean, there is no draft. I think it was blind pick though. I don't think each team got to see what the other god was going. But just looking at the gods here, I would say the god difference gives UCA a huge advantage here. UCA should be able to win the water easily. You do have a ceasefire from player, but I don't think that's enough. UCA should win this water really easily. Here comes the first temple to be time shifted. Nyan will be a little bit slower because of the having the walking time here, and he's got his temple there. The villager is gonna go down though. Should have time shifted a house up here for it to hide in. Not good losing that Villi. Safety is no accident. If you are losing your Vil HP early, and you know the enemy knows you have a Vil there, while it's not, this is a little bit abnormal. You probably wouldn't expect this, I guess, normally, but it's safe. You got your manners. You can time shift. You might as well put it up to your Villi up there. But that's well played by F2 there, losing an early citizen. It's pretty important. Now I guess F2 can respawn with their own orbs. How are we looking at deconstruct times here? Old King still has a minute and a half, and Nyan's is less, only 40 seconds. And then they should be getting line of sight, so you need to get line of sight of these docks back here and cast pestilence on some of these docks here. The fish, these boats should be coming forward to get pestilence use. This is a missed opportunity. I don't know why you wouldn't use your instant pestilence, get on the docks. I like that. That's a misplay. There should be no boats right now from either Heimdall or Goldline, whichever one they want to use pestilence on. Should be, and then they're gonna have a deconstruct for this dock, so you're gonna effectively have player moved off of the water right now, and you could have 0 boats from Heimdall at this point as well, which would put UCA 2-on-1 on water. I mean, kind of 3-on-1, though Nyan really isn't making a whole lot of units here. I think we might see just land fight between Nyan and player, yeah. So UCA misplaying this pretty badly just by not using the pestilence. They went restoration instead. That's why. That is a mistake. That is why they didn't use Pestilence, because they went up with Resto. That's a huge mistake. The value you get out of Pestilence here would be greater. And this is resulting in just a landslide on water. Actually, it went the complete other way than I thought it would. Because Swiss Boy is slow to get boats. I mean, Swiss Boy has 2 boats at this point, when we have 11 from Heimdall. And Odin King has 0 boats too, so Wolf player's gonna grab a town center and use ceasefire, isn't he? Maybe? Oh, these are on his units. Never mind. No, he's not. Use ceasefire at all, because it's his allies unit. Oh yeah, I think UCA misplayed that pretty badly. You don't go restoration here. Because your whole point of going with the early water aggression is that you aren't fighting a big water fight. And so if you aren't going to fight a big water fight, why would you cast why would you go restoration? Because you use that for a big water fight. Instead you double up, you're eliminating 1 player from the water, and then you're using Pestilence to keep another player off the water for about a minute. And then you use that to get your advantage. But all is not lost, but UCA is facing match point here. A winner of this moves on to the finals. UCA is losing the water pretty handily. I mean, the water's basically over for them. What they have to do is somehow try to eliminate player from the game, which they can do, maybe, with some really good aggression. But so far you've got some nice defense from Heimdall here, coming forward to help out his buddy. A little bit of Promethean raids on players' villagers here, but again, we got Heimdall with a massive army here. And Goline also in a really good spot. Looks like, yeah, he's going to be streaming down units as well. And this is when Kronos versus Oranos on land isn't good, because Kronos doesn't get that extra speed bonus, which is so huge in Atlantean mirrors. So it's going to be tough. Really tough for UCA to do something here on out. Just that restoration choice just really is me. Like, your whole plan is kind of the all-in on water, and the Pestilence works right into that. Restoration doesn't. It's like trying to do a little bit of too much, and it costs them. So we do have Swiss Boy though on 3 town centers. The question is, how does he really support 3 town centers? I guess he does have some hunt. Once the hunt's over, he's going to have to really transition to a lot of farms, and that's a lot of resources to be spending to try to keep up. Meanwhile, 2 of your opponents are fishing. Now granted, the fish isn't super good on this map, but it helps. I mean, it's early civilians that you get. We even have players back on the water as well, with some fishing too, so it has even a bit of an economy. That's nice actually to see that. Well played by player to come back on the water. But your Kronos raids just aren't Oranos raids, because they don't get to speed. I mean, you're looking at 5.3 speed. Mermills can almost keep up, and then you've got the 5.5 from the enemy Terma. And the big thing is not being above 5.0 speed, which means that these Terma can't dodge arrow fire. That's kind of the big difference. But yeah, so UCA is not on water. They are not aggressive on land either at this point. F2 is holding. Being a little bit grim. UCA. And here I thought that they had this game won based on their gods. I think properly done, they could have won it. But again, as I say from time to time, it's easy to say what to do and what not to do when you're watching. But this is a big fight here. We now have a restoration that's used before any fighting really begun, so you had fully healed units getting restored. That's not a good use of restoration. I mean, you were going to force a retreat anyway, and you used resto on units that weren't hurt. So kind of a blown god power there. And that's kind of, you kind of need that god power for some sort of pushing power. Now you don't have it, so you really go aggressive. These villagers kind of bravely gathering in the front there. I don't know if UCA is, they scouted this, so you could do your, oh, he's coming, no, he's coming up here. Valuing killing the vills. Well, you killed 2 vills, that's nice, but yeah, they're gonna walk right past all of those vills that could have been found. 3-2-2 town centers for F2. 3-2-1 for UCA. Nobody aging up yet. Everybody's stuck in classical age. Economies, do we looking like anybody's aging up soon? Player could be aging up soon, depending on what he wants to do, and even Gold Lion can be soon as well. I think, yeah, Gold Lion's gonna be aged up soon because he's already at full pop. And Gold Lion is in a really good position. Be surprised if player fast heroics because he really doesn't have much that he can be doing. But it looks like he is. There really are no very production buildings. One. Random Minotaur here. The cavalry gotta come back and kind of defend from this raid from Gold Lion. This is looking good. Looking good for F2 here. Upgrades for Nyan, he's got nothing. Upgrades for Odin King, he's got nothing. Wait, not a lot. Actually, Odin King has some upgrades. And now you have all these units chasing, raiding Terma, which is, you know, just allowing player to boom up and solidify. You do have, pick this bill. At this point, picking a bill, they didn't even pick him. They needed to do for the units around first. Gold Lion roaring in enemy territory. I see what you did there. I see what you did. Oh, don't know. Chances, they were chances, but 9 is just so far behind. I mean, he doesn't even have a town center yet. And we have player grabbing a 3rd town center, forward one, which this is actually Nyan's town center there. So it's Gold Lion up first. We've got Husbandry, Plow, Bosa, all sorts of eco upgrades coming in, and then H3 Thea for Heimdall, H3 Hyperion for Odin King. But I just don't. And you have a late game Hades that you could maybe do something with a really good underworld because your Hades is ahead of the enemy Zeus, but I don't know, I think the enemy Atlantean are just too far ahead. I mean, early fish supports early land boom, and then you can compare just the differences between the Atlantean players. Just even by score, it's pretty obvious how far ahead they are. And your player that's behind is Zeus, who once he gets late game, all of a sudden becomes completely relevant again. You know, as soon as he hits Mythic Age, he's basically relevant, despite what's happened all the way up to that. Lion is going like for the slowest town center grab ever. Still at 1 town center. Just way behind. I think we only got, let's see, there's a couple. Where are these cap going? Where are they going? Maybe even walled off properly. Oh, I don't know what he's doing. Running this way, running that way. Maybe he's gonna look for an underworld. Yeah, they are gonna have an underworld coming. Swiss Boy is up. How soon? Never mind. Only 63%. I thought this Terma was coming in to get line of sight for an underworld, but he died. So, yeah, the only thing I think UCA can do here, similar to last game, is just kind of create a game of chaos and try to just be all over the map. But they lost that Terma. I'm almost positive that Terma was coming in to get line of sight or a underworld. Yeah, because here comes the Pegasus instead. So they're flying a Pegasus in. Is you have the economy to age up to mythic and like do some sort of earthquake push here. Gotta fight down here. Chaoses were used. Gold Lion is up Helios and is already researching Secret of the Titans. Might be good to save the Pegasus line of sighting until after the Titan Gate is finished. Here's a vortex down here on this gold mine, which will probably result in a few dead villagers. Not a ton of, well, he really benefited that one. Flying straight towards the town center. One dead Billy and just two. So I guess it will. It's gonna kill the town center as well, isn't it? And here comes the Pegasus just flying straight in. If you wanted to be sneaky about it, well, this isn't the way to be. Here is the underworld. Is aging up Artemis. Well, we have a lost town center here. You got quite the fight here. UCA trying to push. Player has his own underworld as well. There's just not enough units here for Swiss Boy. Like, he has no siege, so he's gonna have to combine this with an earthquake. He can maybe earthquake this and kill all of this, but I mean, a vortex would just defeat this army, and then you're kind of back at square zero. Where you're on, you know, once your army's dead, you can't push. So even if you use earthquake, what's the point? And here comes that vortex. Still again, not a ton of units, though we do have 3 birds, which without a ranged hero here, the birds are gonna clean up. There's no way to kill them. And now we have Artemis coming in. We might see just an earthquake right here. If you get earthquake, either that or the back. I don't think either way saves the game. Definitely not here, because your underworld push is done anyway. So there's no point in earthquaking back here. So can't grab that town center. The score line is getting quite a bit different. Iron is just way behind, just doing a pure F. He had the automaton, he could be doing the automaton hero, but he's not. And now we have another vortex. Where did that go? Oh, on Nyan's home base. Not really that great of a vortex from here to down there, but enough time to kill the town center. You believe? And now the Titan Gate is being constructed because the enemy line of sight is all out. So the Titan Gate will probably come up. We still do have an outstanding earthquake to be used, but I think it's enough. It's back down to 1 town center. So unless something magical happens, as we see the earthquake does finish off the Titan Gate anyway. They tried to like put together every single tree that they could to block it, but the earthquake, you use it here, it still will affect the building. So good try, it didn't work. But UCA is substantially behind. The only thing, maybe if we get like a Hades Wonder or something, be the only thing. Build a Wonder back here, but then player has an Underworld anyway, along with Vortexes. Nick, you would come in with that kind of a joke, wouldn't you? Dangerous times to be joking like that, man. Oh, here comes the Implode. I love the Implode. It is going to suck all of these units up. But I don't think there's enough damage here to 1700 to 1800. Might be enough to kill the town center. Those are gone. Yeah, that's gonna kill the town center, I think. Quite a few units are sucked up. No, it didn't. Vortex looks great. Or not a Vortex. Implode looks great. I wish it did maybe a little more damage to buildings. I wish there's somebody that could change that. Otherwise, what do we got going on? I mean, it's a little bit of just a lot of nothing for now. 9 is just so far ahead. 17 wonders, the 2 people resigning, but ending with the win. I can't believe it. It is. It is going to be the 17 wonders and 2 people. Oh man, boy coming in with the jokes. I love it. I'm kind of wondering, maybe wrong, where's Gold Lion's army? I mean, I guess 9 doesn't have much of an army either, so it doesn't really matter, but it's not, I don't think we have enough to push through. Oh, here comes the army. He was way back here. Troops are coming in. Ooh, but there's just not a whole lot going on. We got the Hero Ballista following these. Now we have the Titan Gate now by Heimdall, and there is a Vortex from nobody. There's nothing. UCA has nothing they can respond with here. We got the hero for the BMS. We've got the not the Myrmidon, the Pacifist for the Destroyer. So this isn't going to go down. This little side push here, kind of a nice little attempt. I feel like F2 really hasn't done too much with their advantage though. Like the Atlanteans were way ahead on the other side, and Ode King is caught up quite a bit. And 9 is up Helios now. We got though these pacifists do a lot. Look how much damage they do to these destroyers. They're just melting the destroyers. And then the well-positioned hero Jason here to get on the Hika, which is attacking the wrong building. We've got the tower push. That's nice. Got no trade route though for UCA, and we have a ton of trade route for F2. Yeah, player does still have Bolt, Ceasefire, and Underworld, so there's so much that can be relied upon if things go bad. And as we can see on the water, F2 taking full advantage of the upgraded siege ships, have taken down this town center and have just dropped off some more villagers to take control of that position and are killing another town center. And every time UCA tries to do something, F2 is around the corner, something else to interfere. And you can see Ode King is spamming out docks to try to fight this. What they don't know is that this is going on. UCA does not have line of sight of that. And player did defend this. We now have the late game Greek, late game Zeus no less, with the plenty vault and all of his armory upgrades coming in. So he's coming. Player is coming. Don't know. Just don't know. We even see the rare Man of War sighting. Such a bad unit. Barely even does any damage to all the boats. 25 beastly attack. And that is the GG right there. Player uses Ceasefire, followed up by nothing else. So the Ceasefire just to rub it in. F2 has won. UCA lost a nice series though, 3-1. F2 takes it. They move on to the finals. The other semifinals has yet to be played, so F2 has a little bit of time to sit back and relax, and well played by F2. Really only had one game that they kind of struggled with, which was the Anatolia game. Otherwise, well played. UCA played well too, but I think they misplayed this game. Though I think maybe it would have made a difference, but I feel like that pestilence, just the one god power difference, could have completely changed how this game could have gone. Could have completely changed how that early game went, but it's so hard because you lose the water early, and that results in the enemy. We can compare just you can cut out player and Nyan because they're kind of on the bottom end of the thing. Anyway, and you can just see just the early eco advantage gets to early town center grabs, and just team wise, just see how F2 a little bit here, a little bit down, but then they just have map control because they have the C, which is a little bit better economy. And then you've got late game. You got Kronos trying to fight Aranos. Exactly the best trades for them. But UCA played well, but not good enough. F2 came out victorious. So that is it for the cast tonight. I appreciate all you guys who tuned in. Enjoyed your guys' company. Great. Have you guys around. Keep me company while I watch these games. I will have the other semifinals for you when they get played, which is not, they have not been played yet. No, I'm not playing any 1v1s. I'll be done for now. And then I'm working the next couple nights, so probably will be a few nights before I stream again. But it's been good. A lot of RTSLeague this weekend, some games, and you guys, of course. So Greek, I think you tuned in right at the very end. So bad luck for you, but I'll catch all you guys later. You guys have a swell time, and those of you watching later on YouTube, hope things are going well with whatever you got going on. And that's it. Chrono JJ over and out.